needed to find. So.
Let's see.
Yeah, Markoff's just got a lot of answers for small, fast allies.
Yeah.
His deck is, just a control deck with just a lot of answers, like you said. And maybe he is playing so little quests because he has these situational cards like Shadow Fury and Dread Infernal that when he doesn't need them, he just puts them down face down.
Yep. Well, I know that was the Canadians are historically the no quest country. They don't like quests at all. Anytime you go over into the double digits with the quest count, I think they get upset. And that's their argument, is that you can always put things face down and run more answers to a variety of decks that way. What do you think about that? Where are you on quests?
I really like quests. I'm more of a control player, so I like to trade 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1. Eventually get to a situation where, I have 5 or 6 quests and you only have 1 or 2 quests. I'm probably going to win that game. But I definitely, if I build a beatdown deck, I don't really want to put 20 quests or 18 quests or 16 quests in my deck. I put a lot less. It's also, your quest base should just be part of deck building. So based on what other cards are you have in your deck, or what your deck is actually trying to do, that's how you should pick your quest.
Yeah.
So it's I can definitely see decks with as low as 10 quests, and I have some decks built on my desk right now with 42 quests. So it just depends what your deck is doing.
You have 2?
Yeah.
Yes, I do have Natural Genesis in that deck.
It's not something.
It's something.
Go ahead.
It's an Angelista. No equipment to bounce back. He's just trying to fill the board with some allies to keep pressure on Markoff.
Yeah, I think if I was James, I would have probably just taken out my Angelistas out of my deck. I think that Matt probably took out his Belton Blasting out of his deck because he probably anticipated James having Angelista and Scrappers, Iron Banes to kill his Belton Blasting and Voidfire Wands. So if I had to guess, Matt probably just kept all of his allies in, took out his equipment, because James doesn't really have any answers to allies. Yeah. So.
I know in his side deck, Matt has another Adal and another copy of Shadow Fury. And Adal is one of those cards where if he plays it at 10 resources, McCoy is dead in the water.
He can't actually win.
Yeah.
It would be funny though to see maybe an Adal facing off an Archbishop to see what would happen there. But yeah, the only equipment that Markoff might have probably kept in was the Bringer of Death, because that's not really an equipment that James can kill.
I mean, he can play it and use it in the same turn to get its desired effect. So.
Exactly.
Need to think.
I'm sorry?
I need to think, sorry.
Oh, sure. Take your time. We have infinite time, so literally infinite time. Pretty sure he still has
Matt's just a really enthusiastic and nice guy. I was very impressed when I met him at Darkmoon Fair Orlando. He just loves the game so much. It's nice to see him finally, he's made top 8s before, but it's finally to see him, being on the brink of actually being a champion.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys like that. I know Watson and Spreadberry. Watson's broken through, but Spreadberry, he keeps getting stuck in the quarterfinals matches, and this weekend was no different for him.
Yeah, and his deck is so cool too.
Yeah.
I was so happy when I saw his deck, from home watching the coverage. It was awesome.
Taking advantage of Ring of Flowing Life and always being able to hear his hero back up to full health.
Yeah, and we never really seen a Shaman equipment deck till just, till now, so. And like I said, like we were saying, it's nice to see pleasant guys do well, because, that's what the game should be fun while you're playing, and fun for your opponent who's playing against you.
It's a game ultimately. So
yeah, I heard that Matt earlier in this tournament actually hit his opponent with a Woodfire Wand, and his opponent mistakenly drew a card, and Matt didn't even call the judge. He said, "I don't want to win that way. Put the card back on top of your deck and let's keep playing." Yeah, that's a class act.
Yeah, so I think it's always more fun, even if you lose, if you're playing against a guy that isn't trying to win just from minor infraction, he's looking to beat you. And I think that says a lot about a guy too. He thinks he can beat you no matter what.
Yeah, he's so confident, which is another when I used to play competitive TCG, I was always worried to play against the players who were so confident.
Sure.
You know, it didn't matter how bad it looked for them. They would always, you know, sit up, and you know they were just always confident they were going to win the game, and that gives you
Yeah, they always
Okay.
make
Crap
you feel like
feeling,
you're just
yeah.
on the brink of being
losing,
completely
yeah.
destroyed. Yeah.
Draw.
Also, another good story that you know happened this weekend. I hear that James actually drafted Rogue both drafts.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds.
In the sacrificial poison gambit?
No, it was more. He realized that people were not drafting Rogue, so he kind of jumped on a class that was underdrafted.
Let's see here.
And the one card that he drafted a lot of is actually On the Brink. It's an attachment that says whenever an ally becomes exhausted, it just dies.
Yeah.
So,
And it only costs one, too.
Yeah, only
so
costs
it's
one.
really
We're playing
efficient removal. And unless they can get rid of it, it's always killing whatever it's attached to. So,
That's not good.
but
That's
it's
the point.
unheard of because usually the rogue abilities are
I'm going
not
to
that
declare
great
attack
and limited.
on-
You know, because you have finishing moves
and
and
they're
combo cards.
sometimes dependent on
on
the
daggers.
weapons,
Yeah,
so it
exactly.
hinges off of how many daggers there are to draft in the available sets. Yeah, I know that for a while though, you know, players were banking on Servants of the Betrayer and hitting the sacrificial poison, because if you had a dagger and sacrificial poison,
Yeah.
if you got that to stick, it's just game over.
Game over, yeah.
So, but again, that was kind of risky
Sure, for all
for the
the
people who are
Angelista.
banking on that, because if they don't hit a sacrificial poison in the second pack, they're working at a disadvantage to everybody else.
Shadow Fury just happened.
Take one.
Poor James.
Shadow Fury hits everything, and
Take a two.
James just looks defeated. If he really wants to win this match, he needs to, you know, be more confident. And he can do it, man. His deck got him this far. He probably beat the best player in the world last round.
Yeah.
So,
All right, you got it.
and there we go. Game 2 goes to
Shadow
Matt.
Fury takes it
16th round bye.
again.